What's going on, guys? My name is Matt with Carolina Coops, and we are inside headquarters of Carolina Coops down here in North Carolina. We just got some of these wonderful feeders in, and what I wanted to do is do a quick video just showing you what I'm about to do. What I'm about to do is I'm going to grab one of these. We're going to go out to our display coop out there, and we're going to change out our feeder, and we're going to talk about all the pros and cons about this feeder. Hopefully, I don't think there's actually going to be very many cons, but basically just discuss why we love this feeder. So we're going to go ahead and get started now. I came out here, and I noticed right away there is a single post, adjustable legs, single post. I am going to pick one, and I think I'm going to go with the single post, because to be honest with you, this is pretty simple. It's probably what I would choose, because what could go wrong when you got 4 legs? But we're going to do the single post, because I want to find out if anything can go wrong, so we're going to make it a little bit more complicated. So we're going to grab this, and we're going to go out there. All right, so we're gonna walk out to the beautiful 4x6 by 18 foot American coop that's on display. We do have our baby chickens in there. They're about, gosh, what, 8 weeks old now? They've been loving being out in the run. Yes, there's 24 chickens in there. I do not plan on keeping 24 chickens in there, but they're still small, so it hasn't been too bad. All right, so we're gonna do the unboxing of this wonderful feeder, again by CoopWorx. We sell them on our website. They're American made. And this one they call the, should be Feed Silo. A new breed of feeder designed from scratch. Yep, CoopWorx Feed Silo. So we're gonna open this up. So there's the top, which is so critical. Check out this top. There's a reason why it's very pointed. Now this is gonna go inside the run, and if this was flat, the chickens are gonna sit on it and defecate all over it, and you're gonna have a mess. Because of this beautiful point, it's gonna avoid the chickens from sitting on it and crapping all over it. So there's that. We have what's gonna be the post. Now I've never installed one of these, so I don't know what I'm doing technically. It's like a joust. But I'm hoping it's gonna be pretty self-explanatory. All right. So there's that. I'm gonna try to make sure it's not too windy today, but I don't want to blow away. Look at this thing. Check this out. Wow. This is pretty serious. This is it's nice, heavy, solid. I'm going to assume, doing a lot of assuming here, folks. Oh, that makes sense. He's got a pad down here. That probably goes on there. You know, I am a typical guy. I'm sure there's instructions. I'm not going to read them. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, so I think it might go like that. I'm not sure still. But speaking of instructions, here they are. Beautiful instructions in a sealed bag. Some beautiful pictures. We'll get to that later. Okay, here is the main part of the feeder. Absolutely beautiful. It looks like a silo. Love the logo right there. Very, very, I'm going to say heavy, but it's not like you can't pick it up. You could just tell instantly about the quality. Ooh, there's some fun stuff in here. Okay, port covers. Here is a textbook example why it is nice having your feeder inside an enclosed run attached to a hen house. Is you really shouldn't have to have port covers to prevent rats and mice from getting to it. Can rats and mice get in here? Technically, yes. If you really want to get technical, an adult rat can fit through a 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch opening. But you want to do everything you can in your entire property, your environment, to avoid any pests from being there. It's all about prevention. But it's a lot of your nocturnal animals, like your raccoons, your possums, maybe even your deer. They're going to come up and you're going to be feeding them. You don't want to pay to feed them. You want to pay to feed your chickens. But by putting it inside the run, you're going to avoid all that. So we have to go get a hammer, pound that in, put the feeder on top of it. I'm hoping, now our girls are little. I am worried this may not get low enough for them yet because they're not full grown. But as you can see, what I want to do is get away from this style feeder, which isn't bad. You know, actually, let's go in there. Let's see the setup so you can see what we've been doing. And it works great. It really works great. What I love about a gravity style feeder is it works by gravity. You fill it up right here, okay? And the feed just goes out towards the bottom and it slowly goes down as the chickens feed. Now, they're still babies, and what I like to do is have it about chest height. And with the chain setup we have here on the shepherd's hook, let me show you how easy it is to adjust this type of system. All you have to do is go up here. When I say shepherd's hook, what I mean is that hook right there. Let's say I wanted to lower it just a little. I just, you know, extend a couple links, and look, it's lower. And the other thing is I like having it up off the ground, because we were talking earlier, you don't want your chickens sitting on this and defecating all over it. So by it hanging, it keeps them off of it. Now, let's say they're getting older and you don't want to have to change out feeders. You just come out, boom, now it's up higher. Okay, you get the idea. But we're going to replace this because it almost seems like every day to every other day we have to come out and refill it, which, you know, for some people that works. For us, I just don't want to do more work than I have to. And we're going to be able to hold a lot more feed in that feed silo. And we're going to show you that because we're going to fill it up with a bag. So that's what we've been doing. And we're going to see if the feed silo will make our lives a little bit easier. All right, so we're going to, that's a pretty big steak. And it makes sense that it has to be a pretty big steak because that's going to get heavy. We're probably going to put 40 pounds of feed in there, if not a little bit more. Okay, so I got a wonderful sledgehammer here, maybe a 10-pound. Obviously, heavier the better. Believe it or not, it might sound like it's not better, but having more weight means you'll actually have to do less work hammering. So we're going to go inside the run. Close the door so they don't get out. They will free range soon, but not yet. Now, the first thing you want to ask yourself is, where do you put the feeder? There really is no wrong spot as far as where to put the feeder in general, but in our particular situation, we're going to keep the feeder inside the run, and I like to keep it dead center so that you will get some sideways rain, and you don't want your feeder right next to the run getting rained on. So we're going to put it right in the middle, and I really do like this spot right here. So here we go. Now I know I was going to get a scrap piece of wood. I wanted to see what happens. Now obviously you want to hit it in pretty plumb. So we got the feeder. We got the post. Oh, right. So even if it does mushroom, that's okay because this is a good 1.5 inches and it sits right. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. All right. So I'm going to hammer that some more. I don't know what I was thinking. We're going to hammer that thing now. That wasn't bad. I was actually thinking it was going to be a lot worse. That's in there. That's all there is to it. I can see that's a pretty good height for full-grown adult chickens. I'm not quite perfectly plumb. Just curious if we can go a little bit lower. Answered that question. All right. It looks cool. I think this looks cooler, that it's a post. One of the disadvantages, I guess, could be once it's in, it's not easily movable if you need to move it versus the 4 legs. I don't know, I like it. So I don't think the baby chicks are quite tall enough yet. We're about to find out. So what we got to do next is put the lid on. So here's the lid. We got about a 6-inch, maybe 1/4 inch. Looks like a galvanized bolt, which is nice. And we're gonna put it on like that. I don't think it matters which direction it goes. Little lock washer and a nut. Maybe 7/16 nut, not exactly sure. I'm just gonna hand tighten it right now. We don't need it real tight. That's it. It's installed. Now, I, for the record, am not promoting this feed in any way, shape, or form. It just happens to be what we could find locally, quickly. I know everyone's got their opinions on it. So this is 50 pounds of chick starter. So we're gonna open it up. I always like not pulling the string all the way, because if you do, then it gets lost. All right, 50 pounds. Oh, wow. Almost filled it up, which is still pretty cool. So a full 50-pound feed with a little bit of extra, which is actually kind of nice, because when it gets down to that level, you can fill it up and not worry about overflowing it. So that is fantastic, actually. You can see why the stake has to be so stouty. And we're going to close this up. There is an option to lock it, which is pretty cool, because there's going to be animals that are going to try to lift that on you. But again, we're inside the run, so we don't have to worry about that. And I'm going to leave this as is. Now, chickens grow fast. Pretty soon, they will be tall enough to get to it. Some of them might already be. But I'm going to leave this feeder in here just a little bit longer, so I know for a fact they can reach it. That should just be common sense. Look at them loving those greens. Love, love greens. So I'm just going to put this here. I think that's it. That's the CoopWorx Feeder Silo on a post. People are probably going to ask, well, how tall it is. I didn't bring a tape measure, but right now at its lowest setting, and it can go up. The post is telescoping, and it can go up. I have it at its lowest setting now because the girls are young. But the advantage to this feeder hopper that I haven't talked about yet is the ports. The ports reduce drag back, and what that means is you'll have a lot less waste of chicken feed. And the reason why that's nice is, one, it's going to save you money. And when I talked earlier about pests, that is the best way to prevent pests. Don't make it easy for them to get to a food supply. So by reducing drag back, it's less likely that the rodents are going to try to get in here and have easy pickings. So those are the two huge advantages to a feeder like this. I think it looks cool. Again, it's American made. It's very well built. We've done shows and interviews with the inventor, Mr. Tom Carter. Super great guy. Started this business with the feed silos with his daughter, which I think is great. And, you know, we wish him the greatest success. And we love the product, which is why we promote it. You can buy it on our website, which is actually what we prefer. We don't make a lot of money on this, but it is nice to cover the cost that it takes. Like right now, I'm making a video and sharing with you guys what we think. And I'm not saying this is the end all be all best feeder out there, but, you know, just like everything else, you really want to look at all the pros and cons of when you're doing anything that you're doing for your chickens. As always, please leave your questions and comments down below, especially my YouTube Chicken Police. Love hearing from you. And if you're going to give me a thumbs down, don't just give me a thumbs down and not say anything. And let us know if there's any other videos or anything else we can do for you guys. See you next time.